Never done this. Never recorded a cooking video before. This is new for me. I feel like I should do an introduction. Be a good one. I'm Cam. I am many things, among which I'm a student at UGA. I am an athlete, and I am broke. I have no money. So this is my. I should come up with a better name for it. I call it Cam's Bean Stew, which is unceremonious yet, gets the job done. So this is the easiest recipe of all time. It's dirt cheap. It's infinitely flexible. You can make it in an hour with maybe 5 minutes of prep time. It's nutritious, greatest meal. I eat it literally every day because I kind of can't afford anything else. I'm gonna do some prep work. Ooh, wait! I can do some cool editing magic. Look at this. Hold on. Wait, I'll get my onion out so it looks cool. I'm putting some potato in here, which I don't normally do, but it's cheap. It's a nice little complex carbohydrate. I'm stealing an onion from my roommate, so that's what this is. And then, of course, carrots are great aromatics for any stew, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to do some cool editing magic here. Where I'm going to wave this like a wand, and then when it cuts back, all this is going to be cut up. Hold on. Focus it a little bit. Ready? I hope that worked. Oh. So as I was cutting all of this up, I was thinking more about it, and this is my issue. I'll tell you my issue with modern cooking, I guess, as I prepare the rest of this dish. By the way, this is pretty much everything you're gonna need, except for spices, where I have this dope spice rack my mom bought me, and a little olive oil, where it's the season of the sticks. Little olive oil, which I'm also gonna steal from my roommate. Fun fact, this recipe is entirely vegan if you use olive oil. Most of the time I'll use butter, but, because I'm a good Southern man, but I'll use olive oil for the purpose of the video. Also because I have to do nutrient analysis. I'm just going to pour the water off the beans that I soaked. Who the fuck knows how many beans I used? I'll say 2 cups. I'm making a lot more than I normally would for the sake of the video. But this is essentially everything. And I'm just going to go ahead, get my pot here. We're using one pot. No utensils, I guess, except for the knife. Or my carrot wand. And I'm gonna get the olive oil in there, get everything roasting up, pour some water in, put the beans in, boil the crap out of it. And that's really what early humans did. I'll get back to my point here about the issue with modern cooking, is that everything has to be fucking complicated. If your dish isn't complicated, it's not good. Like fucking hollandaise sauce. You ever try to make hollandaise sauce? Talking about that with my buddy today. Hollandaise sauce is a pain in the ass if you've ever tried to make it. Little bit of, like, you whole double boiler thing. If you fuck up the double boiler even a little bit, the whole thing curdles. You lose a stick of butter, a bunch of eggs, whole mess, right? Other thing I did off camera was make a pot of coffee, sit down and talk about hollandaise sauce here. Right, you make this hollandaise sauce. It's good. It's a sauce. So you make this hollandaise sauce. Okay, right? That's cooking. You have to make complicated shit. This, uncomplicated, right? We're doing what early humans did. You make something in a pot by boiling the crap out of it for a few hours, and you eat it later. And it's nutrients and it's good, right? Can't fuck it up. You'd have to, oh my lord, that's hot. You'd have to be a special kind of stupid to fuck up this dish. And I will. Cooking doesn't have to be complicated. Cooking is it's a human art form, right? And when you take it and you make it this complicated thing, you make it inaccessible to humans, which is where it should be originating from. But yeah, I play a lot of sports. I play racquetball. I'm a fencer for UGA. I'm the captain of our fencing team. I'm a runner. I'm a student of nutrition, as you might guess by me having to do this assignment. And when I don't really have time to cook, I have a lot of classes, so sometimes what I'll do is I'll chuck these beans in a little container to soak, and I'll leave them there. And when I come back at night and I have to do homework, what I'll do is I'll just unsoak the beans, right? AKA dump all the water out. And then I'll go ahead Use a little less than that. That was a little aggressive. And I'll just go ahead and dump everything in this big container and then boil it. And then an hour later I have dinner. I'll eat the whole thing most of the time. Life is good. Everything tastes good. Except I've been making this recipe a lot. So I'm out of garlic. Normally you would use garlic here. So you're going to have to forgive me on that. Ooh. I'm going to cut out that I just burned myself a little bit there. The other thing you're going to want to do, it feels weird that I have to like bend down. I'll get on your level. The other thing you're going to want to do is, while the oil is in there and the onions and garlic are in there, if you have garlic, you're going to want to put all of your spices in there as well. So I personally didn't put any garlic in there, so I'm going to put some granulated garlic in there. Just get the same aroma. You can't go wrong with garlic. I'm going to use a lot of it because I like garlic. What else? I'll use some paprika. This looks good. I like the red color. I'll probably put some chili powder in there. Yeah, I'll use some chili powder. Get a little spice. I like it a little spicy. You can't go wrong. So what I'm really showing you here is less of a recipe and more of a process. I'm teaching you how to make bean stew, right? And don't take my exact recipe and make it, which is what you would think you would do with a recipe. I want you to change it, make it yours. You know, use whatever vegetables you have, use whatever spices you like. I like things that are a little spicy. They have a little heat. They're a little warmer. You know, I like, you know, aromatics. So I'm going to use some carrots. I'm going to use these potatoes here. I'm like, just, the thing is, bean stew is so simple that you can only mess it up by not making it yours. And that's what I'm really trying to teach you here. So it's simmered down. I can't really see any oil in there anymore. It's just carrots. Or it's just onions, my fault. So what I'm going to do now, and this is a secret to the whole recipe, so I need you to listen very carefully. I've never actually measured how much water goes into this. We're going to put water above the beans by about an inch. That's what matters. Since I'm using a lot of potatoes here, I'm going to put a little bit of extra in, just to, you know, because the potatoes are going to absorb a lot here. I'm really making potato stew. God damn, I used too much potatoes. Whoops. Okay. This does remind me of a video I was watching yesterday on YouTube. This motherfucker spent 2 days of his life in his kitchen figuring out how to make apple pie in a sheet pan. And he swears to God it's better than regular apple pie. And I just don't understand the whole point of spending 2 fucking days making this apple pie when you could just have regular apple pie, which is already one of the greatest desserts ever. And if you want to overcomplicate that, the fucking Dutch have already done that. They've perfected a recipe called fucking apple cake. Don't know how to pronounce that in Dutch. Apple cake. And it's fucking brilliant. If you've ever been to Amsterdam, you go to Cafe Winkel, or it's Winkel 43. That's it. Best fucking cake on the planet. It's so good. You got these like spicy, like thinly sliced apples, little crumble on top. It's in this like cake. It's fucking brilliant. It's so smart. And this dude has spent 2 days making a fucking sheet pan version of apple pie. And then what? What? The lights turn off, the camera turns off, and you're sitting in your fucking kitchen. You've got a sheet pan full of apple pie, and you're by yourself. That's it. What have you done? Made a fucking disaster. I'm sure it's good. You put fucking butter and flour and apples together in some fucking combination, it'll be good. Right? That's not the moral of the story. The moral of the story is that the bean stew is a dish that you make for your friends. Because you have friends. Because you have time to make friends. Because you're not dicking around in the kitchen with an apple pie for 2 days. That's the real moral of the story. This dish will make friends for you. Ooh, salt. I need salt. Ooh, don't forget salt. And use a little more salt than you think you would. For the nutrient analysis. For the nutrient analysis, I'm going to say that it's like like a tablespoon or something. Use a little bit more than that. Beans have a tendency to be very neutral flavor. They almost kind of neutralize out salt. And I'm going to use better salt. They kind of neutralize out salt, so you don't realize how much you need until like you're tasting it and you're like, okay, this is not salty enough. And oh, that smells so good actually. And it's fall, you know, if it's date night or something, it's cuffing season, you know, you got a baddie back at your place, or a guy, I guess, if that's what you're into, or if you're a woman, then I would not make this dish for them. Personally, I would do something a little more impressive. I would do the fucking sheet pan. No, I wouldn't do the sheet pan apple pie because it's a disgrace. Apple pie was good on its own. Why you had to change it is beyond me. I will never understand the hubris of some people, as if we believe ourselves to be gods and thus we must architect chaos of our own invention. Fuck that. Make the bean stew, impress them. I won't say take them to bed because this is a YouTube cooking video, but you know, wait until marriage and wear protection. I'll say this. Get it boiling, right? Once it's boiling, drop the heat to low. Simmer. You don't want to boil it because it's a little too aggressive. It'll break up the beans, it'll break up the potatoes, whatever. Kill everything. You don't want to do that. You want to simmer it. So what I'm going to do, because I see it starting to boil, I can see stuff starting to kind of pop up at the top here. I'm going to skim off some of the stuff here. What I'm going to do, drop it to low, lid goes on. I'm going to set a timer. This is another fun fact about Cam. I don't own a smartphone. I have a flip phone. So I'm going to set a timer on my dope piece of 90s technology. I'm going to say 40 minutes and I'm going to come back and check it. Because I don't know what it's going to look like with the potatoes, if they're going to eat up too much of the moisture and then add a little bit more water in. Alright, young Padawans of cooking. We're done. We have finished the recipe. And to recap, you put some oil in, toast your spices and onion and garlic, chuck everything else in, boil the crap out of it for an hour, and then you're good. I even pulled out, and this is just for you guys, our nicest bowl that we own as a house to show off the finished product. I can't even tell if that's a good angle. It's a good enough angle. See the carrots and the beans and the potatoes in there, nice orange broth. It looks super nice. If you want to throw some garnish on it, maybe add a little green, maybe break up the color palette, you're welcome to do that. I don't need to because this is my lunch and I'm hungry, so I'm about to eat it. But see, there's no good outro for this. There you go. Go forth and prosper.